Alright, so we're now at Zink Park. Right here, and as you can see, there's some tennis courts over there and playground over there. But anyway, this park is nestled in a neighborhood off of Lewis. And I would say I love parks that are in neighborhoods like this, just because I think kids need to get outside and play. I did as a kid. Video games are cool, but I think it keeps you in shape and healthy, and it's inexpensive. So anyway, we're gonna walk this way. As we're walking, this park has like a covered area where you can have a picnic and whatnot. And yeah, there's a couple benches here. This is actually a very nice day today. It's in the 50s right now. And you have your little barbecue stands there and there. And there's also a bike rack over here. And then you have trash cans. And so this isn't a huge park, but just do a little 360. So that's the little picnic area. But I mean, it's not a huge field, but if you had like a family function or something like that, you could certainly have a little family baseball game or something like that out here. We're gonna walk this way. So coming up to the tennis courts, you can tell they have a little age on them, but you know, they're a good size. The nets seem to be in decent condition. See, there's some, you know, chips and dings in the court or whatnot. Now, one issue with this park that I will mention before I go into the basketball area is I actually park down here. So there's like street parking. So really, if you don't live in this neighborhood or you're coming with a ton of people, you'll definitely want a carpool or something like that. Like I was saying, I parked on a street parallel parking thing like this. Usually there's 2 handicap spaces, one here and there, and then a sign, an entrance, some rocks, and then you walk into the park. There's a trash can, little doggy bags for poo. This is a basketball / tennis court. I was actually in the other courts over there. And then here's a little open area right here. So I'm gonna walk this way.
Not super familiar with this part, but I think there's a little trail over here, which I definitely like that. So yeah, there's a little walkway right here.
There isn't a door off of these tennis courts, but these are steps here. So if you have oh my gosh, if you have children, God. And there's also snakes. So yeah. But yeah, let's go this way. So there is lighting here. So like I'm on this trail, there's a light here, there's a light over there. There's a cool sign there. It says pick up after yourself or expect to be picked up. That's awesome. There's like steps right there. The trail kind of comes off of that open area where I was at and leads, excuse me, down here, down this way. And like I said, I probably would not come here at night. Yeah, I've seen about 3 snakes. Little snakes, but snakes no less. So here's a little open area right here that the trails kind of lead down to. It's kind of like a rock face right there and some steps down there. And the park borders this creek right here. And then there's a neighborhood over there. And so this is a nice little nature area. Again, this reminds me of, oh my gosh, what's the name of that park that I was at? So this is a creek here. Man, I cannot think of the name of that park. But anyway, there's a creek here, and there's some rocks you can kind of go up. These are not official trails here. But you know, if you wanted to get a little exercise, climbing up some rocks or something like that, that'd be cool. But I would say if you're out here and you have a rambunctious pet or a pet that's not good off leash, may not be the best park, because if they run, they can stumble down these steps and hurt themselves. Or worse, they could stumble in this creek, which, you know, dogs are gonna swim, but if your dog bounces his head off of a rock, he's not gonna swim too well. So that's probably something you want to keep in mind. This is 31st Street right here, so it borders the park. There's not much here. So this is kind of a rugged park. Looks a little bit older. We're gonna walk over here and then probably exit the park after I show you the playground. But anyway, you know, it's a nice area if you wanted to come out here and sit and read. There's little areas up here. I would probably sit on these front rocks just because, like I said, I was walking up the stairs and down the stairs and there were some snakes, and as you can imagine, little holes like that, I mean, they're animals. I mean, you never know what could be in there. So, and there's, you know, water down here. You have a random hole here, which isn't very deep. So, and then you have some fencing here. So, yeah, because there's like storm drainage and stuff down here, and then there's houses over there. So,
alright, so we can either go this way or this way. I'm gonna go up this way.
that's where I just came from. As you can see, there's steps right here to get down there, and you can stand on this rock. It's not really picturesque, but it's nature. It's relaxing. So we're standing on this little walkway, and it has a little ridge right here, and that's for runoff and water, so it doesn't just pool somewhere. So it'll come down here. It'll go down there. So there's a storm runoff right there. So that's a smart design. And you have a bench here, so that's cool. You know, and this is the field that I was talking about. So this will be a very good sized field for you to play some catch, maybe some softball with kids. I mean adults, if you hit the ball, it could bounce all the way down there and you would lose the ball. So up to the playground area. Before we do, there's a little tree you could probably climb on a little bit if kids are still allowed to do that. But yeah, I mean, it's a basic park. You got your slides that'll be scorching in the summer. Got your mulch there. Kids are so lucky these days. When I was a kid, we had sand that cats use as a litter box. And mom would yell at you if you took your shoes off in it or dumped the sand out in the house. But there you have another picnic table and another grill there. So that's cool. Be responsible with those because we don't want any more fires out here. And then you have some swings over here. So very basic park, not much to it. We'll give you a 360. So the playground, actually, there's a neighborhood right there. The playground is actually on the southern edge of the park. So that is south. And then the playground's right here, excuse me. And then we're going north that way. And then the northern edge is going to be 31st Street. And then you have your tennis court, basketball court. Then you have that rock quarry thing over there. Your picnic here. And it's an open layout, which is always good with the park just because you can see kids, see where they're going, unless they go down there. So I would say if you have a ton of kids, you might want to have an adult over there making sure they don't run down those rocks. And then here's a random area here, which is, I presume, where a splash pad. The parking's not that great because I walked around the whole park and you could potentially park on the street over here. But where I parked, we'll walk up here. Like I said before, there is a handicap space here, handicap space here.
I mean, 2 spaces.
So, and you definitely don't want to park right there. I mean, you're definitely going to be blocking the street, so.
So now we're going to get out of the park. I'm going to go a different way just because I feel like the way I came was very mazy.
My hands are searching for you.